that?
I'm sorry, he's very impolite.
Really? I couldn't tell.
These two, but... Oh, we had like 2 people drive by like...
That's okay. I'm used to people who are rude and
You're used to that, didn't you think that you would start?
No, because people need to hear the truth. I'm not having...
Human beings with opinions.
What's that?
Okay, I stay here till fucking 5 o'clock, but these assholes are outside of my school!
How about you clean up your language a little bit, sir?
Freedom of speech, don't care.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
People need to hear the truth. They need to see these signs, because this is what's going to happen to children tomorrow morning in Milwaukee. All over our culture, every day.
I hate to say it, but you're bad for your Arthur.
And your cold heart is not good either.
Hey, you guys have a great afternoon, alright?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
These children won't are going to be murdered tomorrow morning. Does anyone here have any compassion whatsoever, even a little bit, for these children? Even a little bit? Or are you all just cold-hearted? Don't care. Don't show it to me. I'm not going to do anything.
I'm not cold-hearted. I'm just cold.
Yeah, you are. You need Jesus Christ. He can save you. Homosexuality, yes.
I hope you realize that you guys are actually kind of stupid. This school is LGBTQTA+.
LGBTQ+.
I don't care. It's the same thing.
And the pedophile.
Yeah, you're
So why does that make us stupid?
That's gotta be the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Have a nice afternoon.
Fucking
Yeah.
15-year-old.
These guys are just crazy.
Tons of stupid.
Are you a Christian?
Proposition by a pedophile.
He is not in that. There's no P.
That's been added yet.
You know, you may not believe me at all.
Do you not realize what that stands for?
You may not believe this at all, but I wish Christians had come to my high school when I was in high school back then.
She's about to go on.
You may not believe that, but I wish Christians had done the same thing for me when I was in high school. I wish Christians had done this for me when I was in high school. So I'm doing for you what I wish had been done for me.
Hate to say that, but
What?
it's kind of what I believe.
What do you believe? What do you believe? No one has the right to murder anybody, to murder a child or anybody. That's
Then why is it still legal?
because we live in a culture that has dehumanized the preborn, and most people do nothing about it. Just like slavery used to be legal in America, it was evil,
Okay,
and we recognize it as evil.
Answer this one question that I have.
Yeah.
How come I don't see you people in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Racine, any town surrounding this? Just you guys focus on one shithole. Bunch of teams.
We go to a lot of different areas.
You guys go to Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Never seen you there. Do you guys go to Kenosha?
Well, I mean, you don't follow me every 24/7, so you wouldn't.
I live in Milwaukee. I live in downtown Milwaukee.
I've
never seen you guys.
I've been downtown Milwaukee. I've been there late at night.
Well, you've been there.
Yeah.
I mean, you just the signs.
Well, I mean, I've been on loudspeaker
How much
there.
you want to bet with their signs? If they go with their signs to South Milwaukee, they were good. They would get their asses kicked.
Ooh, that's
Did you know that Milwaukee is like the most populated town in Wisconsin? It's
Doesn't
like,
surprise me. It's a big city.
yeah. You know how many of those are part of the LGBTQ?
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
And they need to hear the
Milwaukee's
gospel.
got a #1 rating for LGBT affirming.
Okay. Well,
It's got a 0%
No,
rating
no.
of God-fearingness, according to God.
Well, please
It's going to be
explain
judged
this.
by God.
If God created us, then why do we have lesbians, queers, trans, asexuals, all of that?
Because we have rebelled against God's law.
What?
Because we have rebelled against His law.
Because
And
you
he
have
had
rebelled against His law.
Yeah, we have rebelled against His law.
Okay. Well, we have actually science.
wrong time.
No, man, this is the perfect place, perfect time.
Oh, hey, you fucking cunts.
What?
Yeah, that's
A lot of parents don't, ma'am. A lot of parents don't.
I hope you realize that the
that's
teen
their problem.
pregnancy rate is at about 2.3%.
Stop.
I'm trying to stay.
This happens to children every day, and most people,
Like how you have two people
they couldn't care less.
that are like making
But just know Christ can save you. I'd encourage you to repent and turn to Him for salvation. Christ can save you. Turn to Jesus Christ. Repent of your sins and turn to Him for salvation. Why the middle finger? Why the middle finger? Come and talk to me if you disagree. Park your car and come talk to me. Don't just flip me off. Come talk to me. Tell me why we're wrong for being out here.
Because you guys are fucking assholes. You don't know when to stop. That's why nobody wants to talk to you.
Come talk to me, man. Come to Christ. You don't want to go to hell, believe me. You see, what we've seen out here is exactly why we have to be here, because people hate God. They hate God. They need Jesus Christ to save them. So this is a perfect place to be.
This is not illegal to the point where you guys can just walk up to some middle school that probably hasn't had a pregnant teen in like what, 8, 9 years?
Well, you assume that.
What?
Oh, a middle school. We're out of high school.
Middle school? You're not even 14 and a half when you leave.
No, I'm talking about here at a high school. People do get pregnant here, and they need to see the truth. They need to see the truth. That's why we're here.
You want to know what's actually really funny? I'm pretty sure that God created all of us, made us the way that we are. We haven't abolished any of His laws, and yet we had some stupid kid make a condom. And it's your fault for not using one, and it's your fault that people get abortions. So, like, it's not our fault. So stop talking to us and stop talking to the people that actually cause the problems. It's not us.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not us.
Yeah.
None of the people here have, at least, as I know, had sex unprotectedly and then had a kid and then aborted.
Well, even if they're having sex, whether it's protected or not, they need to hear about.
Targeting the kids. Target the adults that cause the problems.
Well, kids need to get saved too. Adults and kids.
You're gonna have to become adults in another few years.
They need Jesus Christ to save them. Because people are dying and going to hell every day. They need to hear about
Oh, bitch, I want to go to hell so I don't have to see your fucking face.
So you want to go to hell and burn for all eternity?
Yeah, I'd actually much rather prefer
That's his
that.
problem.
It is. Well, no, it is my problem because as a Christian, I should care about his soul. That's why we're here, because we care about people's souls. We don't want people to die and go to hell.
He is not treating that people badly.
Because once you die, that's it. You either go to heaven or hell.
Once I go to die, I'd rather go to hell than have to deal with it.
Well, then you're very foolish, because if you'd rather go to hell,
No, that you don't even know that the fucking heaven or hell exists. All you
Yes,
know
I do.
is just, oh, it's what we believe. There's no proof.
well, it's just like people, you could be on death row and go to the electric chair and say, I don't believe in the electric chair. That doesn't change a thing. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not true. Heaven and hell are real. And when you die, you'll go to either heaven or hell.
Okay, just using this as a reference, trying not to go off subject.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that about 100 years ago, when it was first released, the street was allowed for everybody? And this is a reference. So when cars got released, people got mowed over, and then the car manufacturer said that it was their fault, calling them Jays. And back then, Jay was actually a very, 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 very bad, meaning that you were redneck. So you're basically saying that some guy thousands of years ago could have just wrote a book and said, oh look, it's from Jesus. Have this guy read it. He knows how to read it. Could have just had something like that. Not, well, hey, what's this? I'm Jesus. I own all of you.
I own all of you.
It's good.
God wrote the Bible using that. And we have as an instruction book today for because people hate God and they turn against Him.
No, that is not the point at all. Abortions were made because women were having unwanted pregnancies around the 1960s because of some stupid fucking people. And then you're here, fucking what, 78 years later, almost 80 years later, saying, oh no, they did nothing wrong. All they did wrong was murder the people.
the express purpose to exterminate
You know
the
what?
Negro population.
You're at a school.
She was a racist.
What?
Margaret Sanger was a
Margaret Sanger was a
racist.
Okay, who the fuck's Margaret?
Margaret Sanger was a founder of Planned Parenthood. They were created to exterminate the black population.
So Margaret, that works at Planned Parenthood, right?
Well, no, she's dead, but she founded Planned Parenthood. Margaret
She
Sanger.
founded Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood, yeah.
Okay, she was racist.
Yes.
She was racist.
When did she found Planned Parenthood?
I think 1916, around there.
Yeah, when racism was still a big deal.
Still is. You look at where Planned Parenthood facilities
but it's
are.
lower than it ever was, and it keeps on going down. Because what you don't understand, you guys are trapped in the fucking 60s. This is 2018. I don't know where you guys been. Apparently, by your fucking dress wear and your old ass camera from 1990, you don't understand that either.
Well, what do you understand?
How do I understand?
I'm saying, what do you understand?
What do I understand?
Yeah.
Because you're here at a friggin' school
Yep.
telling kids, oh, abortion's bad, when you're not at Planned Parenthood saying, oh, abortion's bad.
How do you know we're not there? We go there too.
Yeah, you got it. No.
You can
No. Oh, yeah, food's awesome.
food, please.
I feel guilty, it's okay. I feel guilty, it's okay. I'm gonna be here at 5 for concessions anyway. Alright, you too.
You too.
Like I said, we go a lot of different places, including Planned Parenthood. We go to a lot of different places, high schools. We
Yeah,
go
I
to
understand
colleges.
that you're allowed to be here, but then you have people like the people that drive by, the people that are like,
I'm used to it.
Watch out, I'll be right back.
I'm used to it. I know people.
I gotta go get my backpack.
I know I live in a culture that hates God, so I know people will hate it. But they also hated Jesus Christ to death
If you know people who hate it, why do you do it?
because they need to hear the truth.
If
They
they've
need to
heard
see the truth.
then they don't care about the truth.
Some people do.
You guys aren't really doing it.
Well, people assume that, but they have not seen what I've seen. They haven't heard what I've heard as far as people who have changed their minds. Because I'll say for a fact that whether you believe it or not, children have been saved because of these images. I held a child in my arms months ago because of these images. Her mother.
Just one child, not thousands.
But I'm saying it does happen, and I have
I
read.
understand that it does happen, and I understand that women have unwanted pregnancies.
Yeah.
But it is their right to choose whether or not they want to have the baby.
No, it's not. You do not have the right to choose to
I
murder
used
somebody.
to go to church, and the reason why I don't go to church anymore was because a very good friend of mine, got raped in Milwaukee, and she went to go get an abortion, and she's like, I don't know what I should do. I don't want to keep a baby, and I said, well, then get an abortion. And she's like, well, I want to do that, but I don't understand how. And I was just like, what do you mean? And she's like, I do not want to have to suffer through knowing that I murdered somebody, but then again, I don't want to be constantly reminded that I was raped fucking 3 years
So
ago.
it's worse to murder a child that God gave you, no matter the circumstance.
So you're telling me that God made rapists, made the rapists rape innocent people, and then you want them to keep the baby?
He didn't make anyone rape anybody, but just
God created you, then God created rapists.
well, He created men who choose to do evil things. He created women who choose to do evil things. And we should not punish the child for the father,
Why would he do that?
because He allows us to make choices.
Do you know nothing about Greek history?
I don't know a lot about it. I probably read a little bit.
Do you know what Pandora's box is?
I have read about that in high school.
Realize that Pandora's box is older than God?
As what?
Older than God?
Nothing's older than God. He exists
Everything is
eternally.
older than God?
No.
Existence is older than
God exists eternally. He had no beginning.
Existence is older than God.
Well, you used to go to church, you would know that, right?
I went to church when I was 8.
Well, still, you would know that God exists eternally. He had no
This was
beginning.
6 years ago.
He has no end.
I'm using references from recent experiences with Christians, dumbasses like you.
Why are we that?
Why are you dumb?
Yeah.
Because you're protesting at the wrong spots.
You know we hear that everywhere we go.
You're downtown on Friday Friday Night Live
Mm-hmm.
and you protest to that group of people, do you know how many people actually talk to you?
A few do.
You like under 20, above 50, or like under 50?
all over.
Yeah, about under 50.
Well, it's not just people who talk to us. People hear the message when you're on a megaphone, and they see the signs.
Yeah, no,
So you make an
don't
impact.
hear the message,
Well, you think it's funny. Some people appreciate it, and people hear the gospel. People get saved through open air preaching. You don't even like often when we're out. You assume that things happen, like people change their minds about murdering their children. People get saved, and you don't even know it because they hear a message, and they don't stop to talk to you, but it changes them, saves a child from death. But this does save human beings from being murdered. It does reach people, even though a lot of people hate it. And people need to see the truth at a high school, at colleges, downtown Milwaukee, and other downtown areas, at public events, sporting events.
that doesn't, okay. Why do you protest exclusively?
Because people here, students here, are old enough to get pregnant and go to Planned Parenthood. And I want to stop them from getting to that point.
To be pregnant,
Yeah.
and they're old enough to go to Planned Parenthood, doesn't mean that they're pregnant and that they go to Planned Parenthood. Now, some people go to Planned Parenthood to just be safe in case if something does happen.
Well, it shouldn't.
Like my mother, for instance. Because they do not want to have a child that they do not want. Do you understand that?
I do, and it's wrong.
They do
They
not
need to obey
want
God.
to have an unwanted child that they will have to raise until they're 18 and be constantly reminded of what happened.
Or how about they put the child up for adoption like my birth parents
Well,
did
if you
for
put
me?
the child up for adoption, that's good on you because. You know what? I don't even know what to say to that. You guys are running me dry. I'm about to leave too.
But this culture has dehumanized the preborn to such an extent that people think it's no big deal for people to be murdered every day. That's why we have to be at a high school and other places.
See you on Monday.
I'll see you.
Because how many? I don't know. I'm just wondering how many. Putting it out there, how many girls here are using hormonal birth control?
Harmonic birth control?
Hormonal birth control.
Like hormones?
Yeah, they take birth control so they don't get pregnant. But often birth control does result in the death of a child. It prevents the child from implanting in the mother's uterus.
Not only that,
How many girls are using that? They need to see these signs. They need to hear the truth. Because women and girls all over this country are using hormonal birth control.
so basically birth control kind of stops the period, right? I don't actually know how birth control works. So just go ahead.
Well, it basically the child the egg fertilizes the sperm. Sorry, backwards. The sperm fertilizes the egg, and fertilization takes place. And what happens is that newly conceived baby travels and implants in the uterus, attaches to the lining of the wall, and
I know how pregnancy works. I went through human growth and development. But
birth control it thins the lining so that the child cannot attach, and so it results in the death of a child.
yeah, but it's not like this.
What's that?
It's not like this.
It's young. The child is younger. This is an older child, but birth control does often result in the death of a child, and a lot of women and girls using birth control don't even know that. And so that's like here at high schools and everywhere else, women are using it. Even Christian women are using birth control. They have no idea that children have died because they're using it, and they need to be educated about that. Because there have been women, even Christians, who once they found out, they stopped using birth control. It's like, I had no idea. And so women here, girls here, they need to know that, and they need to be warned so that they don't go to Planned Parenthood if they get pregnant. We can reach them here, because it's like we go to the abortion mills, we go to the high schools to stop people from ever getting to the abortion mill. And if they need help here or any other high school that we go to, we can help them. So it's not like we're here to help in many different ways. Like if a mother here or if a girl here was pregnant, she can come talk to us if she needs help. if she needs financial help, or maybe she even needs a house to stay in because her parents kicked her out, we can help with that. And it's not just to tell people don't murder your child, or to proclaim a message. It's, if you need help, we will help you. If you're in a homosexual lifestyle, we can help you get out, not just get out of it, but here's the truth of Jesus Christ, the gospel. He can save you out of that or any lifestyle. He can save you out of drugs. He can give you hope for, I don't know if there's any students here who killed themselves or considering suicide, but there may be students here who are suicidal or have killed themselves, and we're here to reach them too. And they need to hear about Jesus Christ so that they don't kill themselves. Because the suicide epidemic in this country is rising. It's terrible how many people are killing themselves, how many young people are killing themselves. I mean, I had a dear friend kill himself last year. I mean, it's everywhere, and people don't talk about it. And I mean, I'm hoping students here, there's no students here who are suicidal, who often when you're suicidal, you don't reach out to people. You don't tell people, you're thinking about killing yourself. And people who are on drugs, they have no hope. They're turning to all these things that'll give them no peace. They need Jesus Christ, and that will cleanse them of all that pain, of all that suffering, of all those things that they're grabbing for all these things to make them happy, but they still have a big hole in their heart. They're still miserable. They need Jesus Christ, and that's why we're here, is to talk to people about Christ so that they can get saved. Like I said, I wish Christians had done this for me in my high school back 15 years ago. I wish that they had come to me to talk to me about Jesus Christ, to hold these signs, because I don't know for sure. Only the Lord knows. But I have wondered if Christians had done the same thing in my high school. I wonder if I would have shown compassion for the preborn and found out where the local abortion mill was and gone out there. Even taken a bus if I had to. I don't know what I would have done, but no Christians did this, so I didn't know. I didn't know about this till I was 22. I wish I had known about it 10 years before that. So I know a lot of people hate it, but I tell them often, I'm doing for you what I wish someone had done for me. I know these images are awful, but I ask people, have you ever seen a picture of a murder that was pretty to look at, pleasant to look at? No. So adults and students need to see this. They need to hear about how to be reconciled to God. And God can save you. He can save you.
You guys broke me. I applaud that. You've actually broke me. You've covered every point that I try and refuse. So I'm going to shake both of your hands.
What's your name?
Arthur.
Nicholas.
Your finger looks very cold.
What?
Your finger looks very cold.
It is. That's why I have the gloves on.
I don't know. But you guys have actually broken me.
What do you mean?
Like, I can't respond to anything that you just said. It's actually broken me. I'm actually speechless. I don't know what to do.
Come to Christ and live. Do you have a Bible at home, Arthur? Most people do.
I do.
When's the last time you read it?
July.
Okay. Do you know what you read in July?
Like the first 30-ish pages.
Genesis?
I think so.
Okay. Well, have you read the book? Have you read the book of John before? Well, read the book of John. It talks about the life of Jesus Christ, and what Jesus said himself in the book of John, chapter 14, was, he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." There's only one way, through Jesus Christ. No other name under heaven by which man can be saved.
What? Well, I'm starting to get cold.
Yeah, you're in shorts.
Yeah.
I'd be freezing. I'd encourage you to go home and read the Bible. Read the book of John.
You've actually encouraged me to do something else. I haven't gone to my Wednesday high school thing in about a year and a half.
High school,
I
like
started going there when I was in middle school, but like...
what high school thing?
What?
Like a Bible club or something? Or?
Yeah, it's at Elmbrook.
It's a what?
It's at Elmbrook.
I know that church.
I live right next to it. Like the 26-acre field. It's us.
Oh, not the one here in Waukesha.
Here, check.
You don't live there.
It's
Do you have any of those?
the one on like the border of Brookfield and Waukesha.
Okay.
Check this. I don't mean for us to be humorous, but this is a gospel tract. There's a website in there, Living Waters. Check it out, because the reason I bring that up is a lot of churches in this culture, I don't want to keep you out here. All right, do you have someone coming to pick you up?
I'm staying here.
Okay, because I don't want you to like freeze to death out here.
Yeah.
But
Like we have a play going on. It's about a gay kid getting killed.
okay,
Kind of ironic, but
that's the one that was mentioned earlier.
later.
Caden mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kid Cupsis, brown hair, tall as me. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Like
But,
bunch
like-
of acne, but it's like not noticeable. Yeah, that's Kate.
But that
Even that play has started changing his view
homosexuality or what?
of Christianity
In a good way or bad way?
in a good way. He's like, wow, you're right. Like, hate crimes are a problem. Blah blah blah. Like stuff like that.
Well, homosexuals need Jesus Christ as much as anyone else does. And I mean, people I was asked this last night about homosexuals, and it's like, well, they need Jesus Christ. I mean, it's not hateful to give them to talk to them about Christ. It's not hateful to warn people about hell when they're in danger of hell. It's actually hateful not to warn them. Like if I saw you going towards danger, like walking towards a cliff. I mean, just hypothetically speaking, I wouldn't just let you walk towards that cliff. Like, let's say if you're blindfolded or something, I would warn you. I'd stop you from walking towards and going to your death. And a lot of people are gonna die today and go to hell. They need to hear about Christ. They need to be warned. That's the most awful thing that. No matter how much pain a person suffers in his life, nothing is worse than being in hell for all eternity, burning there with no relief ever. Because once you die, that's it. And a lot of students, they may go to church, but a lot of churches don't really preach the gospel. They don't preach the whole counsel of God. They don't really talk about sin. They just preach a happy, nice message. And that's why I'm worried when people tell me to go to church. It's like, well, is it a good church, or is it one that just tells you how to have a nice, happy life?
Well, I will shake your hands and go in.
Okay.
I make it a promise that I will go to church on Wednesdays now.
I'm with
Yeah.
Well, check out that track.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier.
About everything.
All the swearing. I just have bad anger. It's a problem. I
Well,
also have
again,
ADD.
God can help you with that.
I also have ADD and ADHD, so that's just like why I don't make eye contact and I focus. That's a big problem.
God can clean up your language like he cleaned up my language. Because I used to swear too. God saved me and it disappeared. Along with a lot of other things. But my name is Nicholas. I don't know if I already told you that.
Nicholas and
I'm Jason.
Jason.
You can connect with me on the internet if
Pretty
you want
sure.
to.
Do you remember like 2-3-ish months ago when some fat kid rode by on a beach cruiser and smacked your sign?
I remember you biking right past me like an inch away, and I was thinking, you could have easily gotten yourself badly injured if I had not known, because you came up from behind me. I don't remember you hitting a sign or anything.
Because like my friends were behind me like, dude, you just hit that sign, and I was like, oh no, did I? Because I felt bad. Like I actually thought I hit your sign, and I was like, oh no.
I was holding I hold
you were holding the
a
stick
Banu.
one. Yeah. And it was like
More.
right here.
Okay.
What's this quiet around here?
Yeah, thanks for talking with us, Arthur.
Yeah.
And take these things seriously, because you don't. I know that students here are young. You're young, but you don't know how much time you have on this earth. People die at your age,
I've been close to death about twice.
and God spared you.
Yeah. Car accident, hospitalized, metal plate in my head, size of my hand. And then other one, boat crash, almost drowned.
So God gave you more time.
And I
So
guess
he-
I'm pretty lucky.
Well,
And
not
I
lucky.
can't
It's
feel my legs
just,
now. Okay.
I mean, God's sovereignty allowed for you to continue living, and maybe He had us out. Well, not maybe. He had us here today to share truth with you. And don't spurn the law of God. It says today, if you hear His voice, don't harden your hearts.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go, and then after this, I'm gonna go buy some pants.
So it'd be good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur.